The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good day, Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we want to thank you for getting up bright and early with us. Jack, how are you feeling? It is Friday. The weekend is here.
I feel good. Did you see me dancing to the music?
Yeah, I saw you. I was like, is she lip syncing? Is she got music in her ears? Like, I didn't know. I saw it, but I was like,
So it seems like I don't know the words, so I was making up my own words.
I thought
Oops, I done found so deep, baby. You know that song?
No, but I was rocking.
But anyway, it seemed like this was a sample and that it just mashed well. So it's the first one that came to my head.
Oh, so you seen a little DJ?
Yeah.
DJ it
was like remix.
Hey, I see we have Sean Smith. Season's greetings to you, as well as Karen Simmons. Good morning to you both. Thank you all for joining us. As you can see, Jackie and I, as always, are ready to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. If you haven't already, please take a minute to share this episode, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Make sure you share it with your circle. It's Friday, so Jackie and I, we had originally planned a different topic. Well, we kind of talked about that topic for a while. The weekend watch this. It's great. We love it. We'll do it again soon. However, we saw it in the news recently. Nick Cannon losing his 5-month-old son. And we thought it would be a really good topic to talk about, celebrities sharing both their successes and failures with the public. So you do not want to miss out on that conversation, because I think it's going to be a really interesting one for us to talk through, because we've seen a lot of celebrity news over the last year for sure, but just even in Jackie and I's lifetime, celebrity gossip news stories are like way popular than they were back in the day. And so for those of you that maybe remember back in the day how celebrity news may have traveled, we definitely want to talk with you about that. So make sure you stick around for that. And as always, if you want to laugh to get your morning started, make sure you stick around for our feel good vibe of the day, which is joke time with Jackie. However, we're going to poke some fun at Jackie because she likes to get at us with the jokey jokes at the end of the show. So to get you warmed up, we have a question for you. So I don't know if y'all remember, but yesterday, Jackie was real super excited about this appointment. Like, she was like, Terri, I'm getting my hair done. And I was like, all right, sis, it's going to be lit. You're going to be like, you know when girls get their hair done and they like keep whipping their hair? I was like, hey, Jackie, come back. And she's going to whip her hair from left to right. And she texted me like middle of the day. She was like, how about my appointment's not till Friday? And I was like, oh, so she was well excited on this show. So we had to talk about it. So we want to know, have you gotten excited about something and then realized you were either too early or too late? Clearly, Jackie, yes, knows about that. But Jack, you have to share that experience with us. Like, what did it feel like?
So I got up, I got ready because I was home and I was just doing stuff. So I laid down for a little bit. And I was like, all right, let me get up and get ready and get my hair did. Yes. Don't have to deal with it for like 3 weeks. Super excited about that, right? Get on my bike, take a slow cruise into town, and I get there. I'm like, oh, I'm like 15 minutes early. So I go to the pharmacy, I pick up some goodies. Buzz is right next door. So I grab a little chai latte. And I'm like, oh, I got my snacks and I got my drink for the day. And I walk in, put my mask on, greet everybody. I'm just like, hi, Lambert for 12:45. And she was just like, pardon? And I was just like, oh, and I didn't get the form, like, so any information that's needed, I can do it real quick, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, I have you down for Friday, tomorrow. And I was just like, huh? She was just like, yeah, I have you in for tomorrow. And I was just like, I mean, that works, but I thought it was today. And she's like, did you not get a reminder, like email, a text message reminder email? I was just like, no. And she's like, okay, I'm going to send it to you now. And I was just like, but what am I supposed to do with the rest of my afternoon? I don't even like coming town. I came all the way town. I got my drinks and my snacks because it usually takes my hair like 2 to 3 hours to get done. So what am I supposed to do? And she just like started laughing. And so luckily I knew everybody there. So I just like back paddled. I was just like, see you tomorrow. And then I had to ride up the street with my chai latte because I was supposed to be sitting and drinking, but now like I'm gonna go back home because I now have 3.5 hours to spare before I have work. So I went home. But the whole ride home was giggling. So I go upstairs to my mom and she's looking at me confused. And she's just like, how much time's going by that soon? Because she's got my nephew, so she's busy. And I was just like, so my appointment's for tomorrow. And then I got down to the tennis courts and my dad was just looking. He's just like, I thought you was getting your hair done today. And I was just like, it's tomorrow. He's like, I thought I heard you at home, but I didn't want to come out and, be wrong. But hey,
hilarious.
At least you know how to make time.
Well, if there's one thing we could tell from that is that Jackie does know how to make time. So audience, let us know, have you ever gotten super excited about something and then had to burst your own bubble when you realized that, you were actually too early or too late? I can't say that I've done it recently, but I do. So I have the fear of, missing out on something. Definitely have FOMO. So I like super check, double check, always check to make sure I haven't missed anything. And sometimes I don't have it in the calendar and I still remember it, but other times that's playing Russian roulette for me because, we both are air signs. And so if I haven't written it down or if it's not somewhere concrete, chances are I never said it. You made that story up or someone else made the story up. So I definitely I felt for you, although I was giggling. I did find it hilarious because you were super excited. I was like, oh, because you were like gonna be all like, I know how you were gonna be like super excited. You were like, yes, I don't have to do my hair.
I had to do it today, and of course, I woke up. I woke up at. Sorry, go ahead.
I woke up for women,
girl.
I like you did that on purpose. I like you did that on purpose. I knew it was gonna work out like that.
I'm like, am I going? Rock, paper, scissors, ready? Oh my god, again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh my, okay, you go.
Oh, that is so funny. So I was just going to say for women, we definitely get excited because just the thought of not having to do your hair for a good while, it's to me like next to nothing when you really think about like all of the time that you spend on doing your hair. So like I definitely could feel how you like your heart sunk. I'm pretty sure your heart sunk.
I packed my products away. I was like, all right, my conditioners can go away, my oils can go away. I packed my brush and comb, everything went away. The only thing I had out was the comb that I would use to like relay my hair. I woke up, my body woke me up at like 4:59, and I was just like, well, I guess I should get up and tackle my hair. And I just stood in front of the mirror. I'm just like, yep, so you're going back in the same hairstyle. So I just took the hairpiece out, brushed it, and put it right back in the bun.
Hey. Well, at least we know today the appointment is happening 12:45. Same routine. It's just, this is a Groundhog Day for you. It's totally fine, Jack. It's okay.
He said groundhog. No, it's so true. Like I went back inside. I ate all my snacks. I was just like, well, I didn't get these snacks, but I probably should have saved them because now I have to get them for today.
Yeah, see that part, you didn't think that part through. Like the chai latte, yes, you have to drink that. The snacks, you should have held onto that so that.
Well, it was a tester. It was a tester. It was a dry run, right? So it was just like, all right, let's do what they call it, a rehearsal. So I did a rehearsal.
The dress rehearsal? Okay, it's a dress rehearsal. Yes, it was Jackie's dress rehearsal.
I know how it's all gonna go. Hopefully I get the same parking spot. That was the other funny part. I rode past the parking spot on a hill and then I had to like push back up the hill.
Oh no.
I went through all this work for no appointment.
That is going to be a part of Jackie's life TV. When she has a Lifetime movie about her life, this particular scene is going to be epic. And it's just going to say at the bottom, this happens often. This is a repeat.
Oh my gosh. I just Yeah.
So, but we know, Jack, it's okay because we've all been there. I've definitely been there. It's, you were really excited. Dress rehearsals are great in life because not often do we get a chance to like do something over. So shout outs to you for being an eager beaver, because I did that actually. So yes, I was supposed to go on a meeting yesterday at 4, and my previous meeting finished at 3:30. So I said, okay, next meeting. I thought the meeting started at 3:30. So I was sitting on that call. I texted my coworker. I was like, hey, you on this meeting, right? He's like, yeah, at 4. I was like, oh. So I'm a little too excited about this meeting. It's not the best meeting to be on. So yes, I recently actually now just think about
try and get it over and done with. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time. I promise you, it's not the first time that this has happened.
It won't be the last either.
I've gotten to dinner dates and been like, what time are you guys making? There's no reservation. I'm just like, it's next week. Well, I'm here. So I'm going to sit at the bar, have a quick drink, and then I'm going to go home. It was like, what's the point of me coming all the way here?
All dressed up and everything.
The same week. It's not even the same week.
See, now that's definitely a super eager beaver. Totally feel you. But I don't feel you.
This is why I after Terri has started to give me calendar invites, if it's not in my calendar, it's not happening. There's been times where I've sat at my sister's house and she's like, you don't have plans tonight? Nobody has messaged me today to confirm anything for this evening. Therefore, it's not happening and it's canceled. So if you don't message me to remind me, to make sure I don't need a lift, to ask what I'm wearing, it's not real. It's not concrete. Unless you message me and be like, all right, so I've made the reservation. So if I could go back to that message. But most times, if you've made the reservation, hi, we're still good, right? Because I made the reservation. Absolutely.
Perfect. Yep. Yeah.
Send me an excited GIF. Send me an excited picture. This, like, you gotta send me a message, because if not, I'm gonna be like, wow, I have no plans tonight, and I'll get home and I'll get on my couch, and it's a wrap if I hit that couch. All my friends know it's a wrap. Don't let me sit on that couch. Make me stand. I can sit in my bed and get up, but once I hit that couch, nothing can move me. Nothing. Not even God could get me up.
On that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then Jacky and I will be back to talk about our further topic of the day. We're talking about celebrities sharing their both successes and their failures, so you do not want to miss that. Make sure you come back. Jacky and I will be right back.
Looking for that fine dining experience? Then Aliana's is the place for you. And it's lobster season in Bermuda. So ladies, get your girls together for a ladies' night out. Book a table of 4 and each of you will get a 10% discount on your half or whole lobster main course. Starters not included. This lobster special is on until Saturday, December 18th. Serving dinner from 6 p.m. Thursday through Sundays. And of course, we have all your favorites, complemented with our specialty drinks and wine list, followed by our scrumptious homemade desserts. Aliana's Fine Dining Restaurant, 106 Southside St. David's. Phone 777-0555 for reservations. For those special occasions, there's Aliana's.
Welcome back to this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. And if you're just joining us for our Feel Good warm-up, we discussed how Jacky was super excited about a hair appointment yesterday that was actually not scheduled for yesterday. It was actually scheduled for today. And it looks like Sean Smith has had a similar experience. So he says the worst thing he's ever done is showing up to work on his day off in uniform. Bruh, that's definitely the most heartbreaking situation. Because it's like, it's one thing to show up. It's one thing to show up to work, like, I don't have a uniform, so I could just go about my day. Just pretend like I was doing something else with my day. But to be in full uniform,
it's happened to me before.
Bless your heart.
So when I used to be, but it wasn't actually. It was mostly a miscommunication, I guess. But showing up on my day off, I had somebody call and say, "Hi, so we're busy tonight, and wonder if you could come in." So I was just like, yeah, sure. So I went home, shower, changed. And this was when I was a waitress. So I went in, and the managers were just like, oh, you're coming for dinner, lunch? And I'm just like, somebody called me and asked me if I could work tonight because
was
it's busy.
Was it a prank?
Tomorrow. So then the girl came out. She was just like, oh, how come you're here? And I was just like, you called me and told me. And she was just like, I said tonight. I meant tomorrow night. And I was just like, whatever. So they gave me a free little drink and meal.
That is
My favorite thing is Kentucky
hilarious.
Fried cauliflower. So they knew that. So they're just like, we're going to get you an order KFC and go sit at the bar. And I was just like, okay.
That
I was just
is.
going to go there. But if you guys want to give me that, then I ain't going to say no to the food.
I'm gonna say that to repeat. I heard you on that one. So it looks like Carlton Fleming said he called in sick on a day off once. How do you call it? You know
I'm
what?
not feeling well. And I'm like, okay, I hope you feel better, but you're not supposed to
You
be
just
here.
you're anyway.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
That is the best. I am living for that. So if you're just joining us and you want to share one of the moments you have had, feel free to do so. Jackie and I are about to transition to our feel good topic of the day. As we shared earlier in the show, I don't know if you've seen the news, but Nick Cannon took to, I think it's his talk show. It's not the radio show, but it's like a video podcast show. It's called Nick Cannon. And he shared on the show that he and the mother of his child, Zen, the most recent child, 5-month-old, passed away from brain cancer, and he got visibly emotional about the situation. I wanted to discuss, celebrities sharing their failure. So do you think they should share their failures? Because typically we see them share their successes and we just see like the positives about their lives. But do you think they should also share their failures, or should they keep that private to themselves? Jax, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it depends on the celebrity, right? Because you look at Beyonce and she doesn't share anything. You look at Rihanna, they don't share, like those celebrities, they don't really typically share much. It's more so what you catch when they're out and about. So obviously there's the rumor that Rihanna's pregnant, and
I'm still waiting for confirmation.
I mean, I've been thinking Rihanna was pregnant every time she stands up and she covers her stomach. So like the Met Gala, I was just like, she might be pregnant because she covered her stomach the whole time. But then there was another snippet where she looked real skinny. But anyway, back to the topic. I think when I said it's more so case by case, because if you're always showing your success, people get jealous. They put you on a pedestal. They think of you as God. Like, and I'm not talking about everybody, but there are some people that just can't separate the two. So I think if you're always sharing your success, you can share your failures. It doesn't have to be all of them. It doesn't have to be as intimate as this one, but it kind of makes you more relatable. Mm-hmm. It makes you more human-like. Mm-hmm. So people don't constantly think that I wish you had actually seen the Kevin Hart series, because that's a good example where he had a super fan that was just like, you're my hero, you're everything, this, that, and the other. And then when Kevin Hart had a moment where he was just a regular human, he had to explain to him, like, yo, like, I've worked my tail off to get to this position. I'm just as ordinary as you. I've just had maybe better luck or opened up more opportunities for himself. But like, to share something as intimate like this, I think it kind of opens up another door, opens up more eyes as to Nick Cannon being a regular person. Like, people make mistakes, people have hardships, mm-hmm. More relatable. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not opposed to it. Yeah.
Right. So the Kevin Hart series you're talking about, that was the True Story, the new one on Netflix?
It's called True Story.
Right. Okay. Just wanted to make sure in case someone heard you say the series and they're like, what series is she talking about? So yeah, True Story series on Netflix is the one that Jack was referring to. And then back to Nick Cannon, because it's interesting because he started out, as a actor / rapper / comedian. Like, that's kind of like, I guess, his lane where he started. And so he's always been like very joyful, always like sharing like good vibes. And then he's somewhat transitioned to being more of a conscious person. And he even was a part of that whole B. Simone situation where she kind of went off on a tangent because she was on his show, not only Wilding Out, but also on like his podcast or a radio show. And so it was kind of interesting that he was a part of that whole conversation. And he's the ex-husband of Mariah Carey. They have twins together. And he's also been in the news recently about sowing his seeds. Like, he has a good number of children.
Well, he says that. He's just like, my recent kid, I got a lot of kids. I mean, even in that case, like, not to change the subject, even in that case, I don't know. He's very hands-on with all of his kids, and he can afford it. I mean, we don't say anything when white people or Asians or other ethnicities do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at him. It's just interesting because primarily you see a lot of his good. You don't really get to see some of the bad. And that could be by design. And I think, like you said, they have the right to keep their private lives private. So I definitely can see why this particular moment was important for him to share, because he probably feels like he's not the only person going through it, or he might feel like in the moment he's the only person going through it. And so to share that with others might help him in his grieving process, or help someone else who might be grieving, because it's difficult to lose a child. Because I haven't lost a child, I don't have children, but I can only imagine as a parent, you want your children to outlive you. That's kind of like what we think of the circle of life. Like, you definitely want your children to outlive you, and then for them to be born into this world ill, that could possibly be one burden to carry, and then to lose them so young, 5 months old, like I just could not imagine. So appreciate him for sharing that, because like you said, we kind of see them as these perfect beings who only ever show us their successes, their joyful moments. So I definitely agree with you that it should depend, but it also should depend how they share it. Because sometimes people will share their like failures in like a somewhat of a hoodie than thou, like, well, I'm human too, so I should be able to make mistakes or whatever the case
I
may be.
think I think with situations like this, as a celebrity, I think it is good to, I hate to say this term, get out in front of it, because tabloids, the media was so insensitive when it comes to releasing some people's information. So for him to be able to release it on his terms, his way, that's a blessing for a celebrity to actually get, because they have no privacy. I don't want to be I don't want to be that level of famous at all, where I have zero privacy. I can't walk down the street with somebody assuming that I'm pregnant, or now I'm single, or I had a rough day because I didn't feel like doing my hair today. No, I'm just lazy today.
Actually, I'm lazy every day, but today I just chose to actually live in my laziness.
Yep.
Just want to remind the audience, let us know in the comments, what do you think about this particular conversation? Do you think celebrities should share their failures? Are there any celebrities that you've kind of seen share a failure that you kind of was like, maybe you should have kept that to yourself? That isn't something we needed to hear or know about. And so I shared with Jackie a video by one of my Spelman sisters, who she's talking about the whole Travis Scott situation. And I actually just thought about this. So I thought Travis Scott was Travis Porter, and they're not the same. Travis Porter is the group from my like college days. Travis Scott is this new cat that I'm just now starting to recognize. So I had an auntie moment. I was like, oh my gosh, I definitely thought they was the same person / group. They're not.
I have no words.
Like, they're not.
I was just like, how did she get Travis Porter from Travis Scott? Okay.
I just stopped at Travis. That's all I got. Travis was all I had. But in that video, she had talked about the Astroworld situation, and she actually had mentioned how reverse culture, well, it's not reverse culture appropriation, it's just cultural appropriation, but when it's done by Black people, the whole rock and roll mosh pit type of energy. And I didn't really think of it that way. And like, that is a big failure for Travis Scott's career. Like, even if that's something that he incites, like he thinks that's cool, I really think that's one that I haven't seen him make any statement yay or nay towards it. And to be honest, I think that's the failure, a mistake that he should be trying to, at the very least, understand why people are finding this really odd. Like, that he's just okay with it.
I have to find the video, because he actually did a reply video maybe like a couple days after, but I don't know, it just wasn't hitting it for me, because it just seemed he was just putting his hands in his head. He didn't seem very remorseful. And I feel like that was a moment where he was just like, oh, okay, let me pretend like I actually give a hootenanny, and I'm just gonna go back and do the same thing again.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because you said hootenanny.
Well, because I can't curse. I'm gonna gonna use my substitutes.
Substitutes the same as a regular. Remember we used to do that in high school and middle school? Like you should say
do what?
You should say fact for the F word and then like try to keep using it. And the teacher's like, a substitute's the same for the real word. It's like, no, it's not. It's a substitute. And then it's mess with substitute teachers. We're bad children.
I never did that.
Oh, that was just me. I told it myself.
I was just like, I don't remember that.
Hilarious. So I would actually bring this comment from Karen Simmons into the conversation. She says, in my opinion, celebrities who have shared their trauma and struggles are viewed more human. Simone, Nick, Chrissy, and John, and Serena, just to name a few. Let's pause on the Chrissy and John because I really don't remember what their thing was. Like, what did they do?
She had a miscarriage, or was it a stillborn? I know that she was pregnant and she had posted that she was pregnant. She went through a lot of the process and the baby didn't make it. So basically she was sharing her trauma of the loss and the process that she was going through. And honestly, like I said, I go back and forth case by case because stuff like that, when you have a lot of money and fame and you always look happy and put together, people think that you're not going through anything. It's just at that time it's none of your business. So like look at Chadwick.
Yeah. And there was another young man that recently passed away, the fashion designer / icon.
Yes.
It was a similar
people are
illness.
Going through things. It's just none of your business because most people say be nice to people because you don't know what they're going through. No, leave it at be nice. Like, because it's none of your business what anybody is going through. And for these guys to share that, I don't know if they feel obligated sometimes, or maybe it's a percentage of obligation and a percentage of I want people that are going through the same thing as me to know that they're not alone, because there's situations that happen like this. And a lot of people might feel ashamed. They might feel alone. They don't go through this. So they want to keep it to themselves. So they just push through and they smile through. But when you see a celebrity that has it all going through the same thing as you, you're just like, oh, wait, I'm not alone. So this happens. I'm not, like, I'm ordinary, I'm normal, you know? So like women have more, like there's so many women that have miscarriages, but a lot of people don't talk about it because they feel ashamed. Some people feel like maybe they're broken or something like that. But no, you're not alone. Like there's other things that you're going through that your body might just need, you know, little things, whatever. But you're not alone. A lot of people are going through miscarriages and struggling silently. So to have people out there that are going to be the voice for the movement.
So I want to ask this question, and why do you think celebrities only tend to share their successes? And audience, obviously, feel free to answer in the comments your thoughts on it, because I do feel like we see more of success story trends than we see failure story trends, for lack of a better word, or lack of a better term. And I think to your point, Jackie, there is this authenticity that people prefer with their current celebrities versus back in the day. I feel like, and some of the audience can probably speak to this, there was only the persona of the celebrity that you saw. You never really saw their personal life. So do you think that's why celebrities only share their success, because they're trying to just keep their persona intact?
No, I think it's a survival thing that everybody in the world actually uses. I'm an ordinary person. You're an ordinary person, but you don't know all of my struggles. Extraordinary. That's a song. I'm gonna get those lyrics. I'm gonna get that song. I just can't remember it right now. But no, like I have struggles, but you don't know. I have moments where I sit on my couch and my couch. The couch.
Love that couch.
I know. And I can't, like, you know, people have moments of depression. They have the moments. And I don't tell anybody. Well, some people might know, but not everybody knows. It's not an announcement. It's not like PSA. It's for me to deal with. And sometimes things are better left alone, because you find out that we don't know who's genuine in our lives and we don't know who's actually there for us. So for us to tell everybody the struggle, sometimes you're equipping the enemy with ammo. Why?
Mm.
So if you don't know who your enemy is, you're going to end up keeping your cards close to your chest. That's how we were raised. That's why we were taught to keep your cards close to your chest, because you don't know who's there for you, who's not there for you. And now if you add a lot of money and power into the equation, I'm absolutely not telling you anything, because now you're going to use that as blackmail to get a monthly check or a daily you just
Hello,
don't know.
something. I want to bring this comment from Sean Smith, and he says, if you make a conscious decision, whether you're a celebrity or on YouTube, to put your personal business out in the public, then you should share the good and the bad. So Sean, like, to this point, like, do you think there is a limit to what you share, good and bad? Because I do feel like there is a trend of people oversharing. And I definitely think that millennials and Gen Z probably are a little bit more finding this a little bit more challenging, because we've been so connected, or millennials have grown up with technology. Gen Z has kind of had it their entire lives, and it's just kind of, it's our norm to be disconnected and to always give people as much information about ourselves as possible. So do you think there is like some boundaries that should be set, and what are those boundaries that we think, people should have? Like, to what degree should you make yourself feel comfortable to share your good and your bad? Because I feel like, because it's so open, like, you can get someone trolling you for just saying hi.
If you're going to be that open, you have to have thick skin. So for example, I was sitting on TikTok, and this girl, like, I was scrolling through, and I was just like, why does this girl look like she's crying? And so I read, they have the little words that go across. And she's just like, I was on my live, and somebody commented and was just like, what is this, that, and the other. She has like some sort of, what's the correct term? I guess deformity. It sounds harsh.
Physical.
But she has a condition.
Ailment?
She has a condition. Yeah. And it was rude. Like, why would you say that to somebody? Why would you go out your way to be nasty to somebody? And there are a lot of nasty people. Wow, like, I went through the comments, and there are some nasty people out there. But if you're going to be that open with your information, your personal information, you got to be ready for the nastiness to come, because not everybody's going to be supportive of you. Not everybody's going to be empathetic.
And not everyone, like you said, was taught empathy in general, because at the very least, if you wouldn't want it to be said towards you, why would you say it towards someone else? And some people that do have thick skin have kind of maybe gone through hardships in life, challenges in life. They kind of understand how to deal with it. But just because you understand how to deal with it doesn't mean it's right, or it's okay, or it's even normal. Like, I think that's a bad argument to excuse bad behavior. Like, oh, well, we used to do back in my day, so we just keep doing it. I'm like, that's not moving us forward. We're not getting to a place where people feel comfortable sharing their truth without being attacked. And another part of the conversation is judgment, right? So if you share good or bad, you open yourself up to judgment. And I think, let's talk about that. Like, do you think celebrities have unfair judgment from the public that necessarily they shouldn't get? Like, do you think that celebrities, when they only share their successes or start to share their failures, do you think we judge them differently based on whether they've shared some challenges in their life, or they've only always ever shared their successes?
Yeah. A lot of unfair judgment. People be like, oh, they had it easy. I come back to Beyonce a lot, because because she did the visual album, and she drops a few documentaries. She did the Homecoming one, so it was showing how she had to get her fitness back after having the twins and being a mom and a wife on the what's the word? I was about to say circuit, but it's not.
Oh, Coachella?
On tour, sorry.
On tour. Gotcha.
And how she was excited to get back into her original outfits and this, that, and the other. And you can't see the comments that come afterwards, but you slip over to Twitter and you're just like, oh, it's just bragging, this, that, and the other. Not everybody else has a personal chef. And I'm just like, are you watching the same documentary as me? Like, this is like 4 hours, and she's doing the same dance move repeatedly in heels, and you think that she's got it easy? No, she worked her backside off to get in that. She has to be disciplined and discipline is hard. Being disciplined is hard. Consistency is hard. It's a lot of work to put in there. And that's why she is who she is and I am who I am, because I'm not disciplined. So who am I to judge somebody that put in the work? Like, why would you judge somebody that has put in those hours so that they can sit around and smile and laugh
and enjoy their life? Yeah. And so I actually want to bring this comment in from Sean Smith before I respond. He says, well, put it to you like the late great Bob Marley said, any of your friends can reveal your secrets. I keep my stuff close to my chest. I think to the point about Beyonce, and even just bringing in Sean's comment right there, it is one of those things, like, you have to have your own discernment and know, what you're willing to share, what you're not willing to share. But then it's really interesting that people like to nitpick the little small things. Like you said, yeah, she can afford a personal trainer, but you and I can afford a personal trainer. Sure, our personal trainer isn't going to cost us as much as Beyonce's, and no, our personal trainer is probably not going to do what Beyonce's trainer does for Beyonce. It's going to be on the scale of where we're at financially and in our lives and what we want to do. So I'm not trying to dance on big stages in heels and not lose my breath. Like, that's not where I'm at. I'm just trying to maybe
keep up? No.
I knew in my head when I said lose my breath, you were gonna take that and run with it. Like, I just knew it. I was like, I didn't plan to say that, but then I realized who I was talking about, who I was talking to, and then I was like, okay, 2 and 2 together is going to equal 4 every single time. So that was definitely that. But yeah, I definitely feel like people have really interesting standards for celebrities versus themselves, which some can be warranted because they are in a different space from careers. Like, people that get higher up in the levels of any career, any profession, you will hold them at higher standards because that's what happens as you level up. Like, that's natural. It's just really interesting that people pick certain parts to kind of focus on when it's like, but the whole thing is a lot. So I want to bring in this comment from Michael Anthony Mustin. He says, I disagree. Jackie, you wouldn't have gotten to where you did in tennis without discipline. So yeah, speaking about discipline, and I did want to bring that back into the conversation because a lot of folks that aren't disciplined, like you said, have a lot to say, but they haven't been the product. Like, they haven't shown their product in another area. Like, you have shown the product of yourself as being an athlete. You definitely disciplined. I feel like what you were probably talking about was more around like your workout, eating healthy, those type of things. Maybe you lack a little bit of discipline there, but I definitely think that overall you're definitely a disciplined person. And it's really interesting for trolls. I'll call them trolls because that's what they are. They're just not disciplined in no area of their life. So they just over there making all this noise.
Misery likes company, right? So
and it's their own company.
You to join me, I'm gonna make you feel lesser than so that you're on my level. So that's just.
And what I can say, though, to wrap it up and to kind of close it out, I appreciate Nick Cannon, and even as Karen Simmons said, like, there are other celebrities, Serena, Chrissy, and John, and even B. Simone, because as much as I like to make fun of B. Simone for that little comment, I was like, sis, you're going to the left of this. I do appreciate that she came back and she recognized that, the way she worded it was probably not the best way for her to get the message across what she was actually trying to say. And I think she earned the fact that, she's growing, she's learning, she's gotten celebrity much faster than I think she originally intended to get celebrity. And so it's a learning curve for her, and I appreciate that. Her
being open originally and then taking accountability, it just reinforces what I said. She's human.
Exactly.
And she's been raised a certain way. So she has her generational trauma and her ways that she was raised to think. And that's how you learn. You have to, sometimes you have to say all the wrong things to realize that that's not it.
Right. On that note, Jackie and I are going to take another commercial break, and then we'll be back with our feel good vibe of the day, which is joke time with Jackie. If you want to laugh, you want to hear the corniest jokes you can hear before you get your weekend started, make sure you stick around.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio. Home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. If you're just joining us today, we talked about the fact that Jackie was super excited for her hair appointment yesterday, and that didn't happen. It's actually today. So Monday, we're going to see the new and improved Jackie. Well, not new and improved, just Jackie with the hair flip Jackie. She's going to do a hair flip live, just so you know. I put that out there. She wasn't.
It might be too long, but maybe.
We'll see. It's going to just go all out the window screen. And we also talked about celebrities sharing both their success stories as well as their failures. And I wanted to end on this comment from Sean Smith. He says, not everybody, but some people just want to know your business just to gossip. And that's absolutely true.
As Bermudians say, you're pokey. Stop being pokey.
And that's not something that's new. It's probably going to go on for generations to come because, like you said, people just like to talk, and it is what it is. I feel like the more we celebrate celebrities showing us the parts of their story that they want to share with us and honoring the fact that they're humans, I think they'll feel more comfortable doing that without feeling like, okay, I'm not going to share this because
target on their back.
But to wrap it up, Jack, it is joke time. Audience, if this is the first time you've joined us for this, all you have to do is react to Jackie's jokes, whether you're watching on Facebook, drop comments. Let Jackie and I know how much you enjoy her jokes. Over to you, Jack. I'm ready for a laugh.
Okay. What do you call a trash can that goes to the bathroom?
Flushed.
A dump.
A dump.
What do you... Sorry. Where do you take someone who got injured in a peekaboo accident?
A peekaboo accident. Where do you take someone that got injured in a peekaboo accident? I don't know.
I see you. I'm gonna get in trouble for this one, but whatever. What do you call a man with no money?
Broke. A scrub. Not somebody I want to date.
You have a list, Kay. You're coming banging. I thought me telling the joke was bad. Your answers are worse, girl.
You funny was you don't call them. You absolutely
You don't call them. I mean, it goes with your answers. I don't want to date them.
As always, Jackie and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the day has you ready to make it a great one. Thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terry Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. We trust we'll see you next week for more Feel Good conversations. Until then, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.